All right, Cowboys fans, we're back. Cowboys and coffee. Send the rapture, D.
I totally agree with you. Yeah. If I could find the trumpet, I'd blow it myself.
Yeah, today was an interesting day. Cowboys have finally hired Brian Schottenheimer as the head coach. Um, what a process to get here, an embarrassment. And I think Schottenheimer he looked reasonable. He said good things that I liked today, but Jerry rambled on about things that happened in the 90s, and Steven talked for about 4.5 minutes, and it was the dumbest 4.5 minutes I've seen since Joe Biden's first debate. So, how is it for you today?
Well, I go into school and I have some Eagles fans, and they're awesome. They treat me, they actually didn't tease me like I deserved it, but I was ready for, um, you know, Jill Burke, who was a Cowboy fan. she would, we were like just looking at each other, like I can't believe it. This season, how it ended and how it's going to end. Because I'm sorry, the Eagles are going to beat there.
I don't know about that. I mean, we can get into the Super Bowl a little bit. I mean, the Eagles can run the football. And listen, that's what going all in looks like. It looks like you have a team that can compete. You sign your stars early and you get them under contract, and then you take free agency and you go and sign an elite player like Saquon away from a division rival, a guy who can put you over the top. That's what all in looks like to me. This is not whatever the Cowboys have done. Certainly not what I would ever consider all in.
Yeah, we're still trying to interpret what all in means. Maybe in ancient Hebrew writing, maybe in hieroglyphics, whatever you call it, Egyptian. Yeah, it means something else that we don't understand in the English language, because that was not all in. All in was okay. Here we go. We got the big fella coming and lives in Dallas, lives right there. We'll sign him, and guess what? The quarterback and the receiver are taking less, so that's the win. Oh, okay, that's it. But
Yeah.
no,
And you have Micah saying, "Listen, I'll take less to be here to get this done. Let's just get it done." And it's disgraceful that they should already be working on that extension and get it taken care of. Now, Sean Hammer today said good things about he wants to run the ball more, play action, pre-snap motion. Those are all good things. I worry about the track record though of his offense. Last time he was running offense for Seahawks, that was when everyone was like, okay, maybe Russ shouldn't be allowed to throw the ball all the time. They're much more successful when they actually ran.
well, is he going to be the coordinator?
He says he's calling plays.
That part, he's calling plays. Then it's all on him. And if he's nephew to McCarthy, he's going to see what McCarthy did. Nothing against McCarthy's. Listen, you know what I mean. I'm married to one, so you understand that. Nothing personally, hon. You don't know football either, but yeah, we'll see a balanced game that you find out what the Eagles are going to win, and we found out what Kansas City won. They run the football as well, and McCarthy really didn't have a good running game like he should have. But we're on from McCarthy. We moved on, and we're going to see what happens. They have to straighten out that offensive line for that to happen.
Yeah,
Oh,
from
by
what
the way, not, do you have a running back? Do you have a? You don't even have a running back.
no, and this makes me believe they're going to draft Ashton Jeanty if he's there with the pick. Now, reports are Dallas is looking at Clayton Adams for their offensive coordinator position. Now, he won't be calling the plays, but he's been the O-line coach for the Cardinals. If you've seen them the last couple of years, they run the football. They're a tough-nosed team who runs the football well, and they haven't had a lot of assets on the offensive line. Now, if you have Cowboys offensive line, what we believe does have assets, and you put in a running back, and again, I still say this is a two running back draft. They should draft a running back either. I would pick one in the third round and then another one in the sixth round. I think there's talent available in both spots. Even if you take one in the first, you still take one in the sixth round because you need two running backs. And this is the one where you can get guys like Neal from Kansas who can absolutely break it from anywhere, or Harvey from UCF. Like there's a lot of talent there. I don't see why they wouldn't develop this position. And it looks to me like by hiring Schottenheimer, they're telegraphing what their first pick's going to be.
Well, we'll see. You know what happens? You go back again a year and you find out repercussions of going in a wrong direction. Just ask the Giants about that. Um, they should have drafted one last year in the third
Yes.
round, second round, third round, third, fourth round. Should have drafted it, and now you got to use a pick now for one. Or in your case, you think saying two picks, but now they're going to have to go out and get one. That running back should be there. There's a bunch of them there are decent, but he wants to play for the Cowboys like 50 other people like Deshaun Jackson did and everybody else. But anyways, that's what they should have done. We're waiting for a running back, never did. And then guess what? Even with the success of the running back they had this year, he had a good year. The guy had a good year. When they finally gave him the football, like you said, he was a 1,200-yard guy, 1,200 yards.
Yeah, and if they had actually given the ball a year, it could have been
Yeah,
1,400 yards. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
he's been a good guy. And you know what? Watching today's press conference, Stephen Jones says, oh, some people call it a drought. Stephen, you haven't been to a conference championship in 30 years. That's not some people calling it a drought. And the gall, the audacity to do air quotes on drought, you're a stupid idiot.
Uh,
Of course it is.
he
You
did do
insult
that.
everybody. If it's not a drought to you, what is it? Are you thirsty at all? Are you hungry for a championship at all? Because fans are dying for one. Cowboys fans get a lot of grief about being front runners and all this stuff. We've been faithful to this team who hasn't won for 30 years. What front runners are Cowboys fans? Like, get out of here. Get out of here. So I don't really know what Steven wants. He makes no sense. Listen, it is a drought. It's been 30 years. He said, "Oh, we're going to be aggressive in free agency." They better be. They better be aggressive in free agency. Let me tell you that. They'll crucify it. You thought last year was bad. You said all in, and now you say it again. And if you don't, and the problem is this year's free agent class isn't that great. So unless you're going to go out and sign T. Higgins, I'm not really sure what you're planning on doing.
Yeah, well, this is what I told mommy and a certain other individual. I'm on record yesterday saying there are going to be no shows in Dallas. Sorry, I'm on record. There are going to be no shows. Now, we have an individual that we know said that's never going to happen because of the way Dallas is. And the point what he said was this: there's thousands of Bill Cortezes out there are going to go to the game. They're going to go, and I'm on record. I told your mother and that individual there are going to be no shows. There will be no shows. Uh-huh. If they had this is their pick. This is what they should have done if they were serious about winning. Bill Belichick, it's all yours.
Yeah, I totally agree. They should
That
get
that was
business.
that should anything else. They're not serious about winning. They're not anything else. Even with the Ben Johnsons and the Aaron Joneses and Aaron Glenn's, Bill Belichick is the one that they would say, because you and I know if they pick Bill Belichick, you're like, oh, okay, Jerry really means this now. But they let him go.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of great free agents out there. I mean, T. Higgins is the best free agent to me. Stephon Diggs is coming back off injury. He's 31 years old. Keenan Allen is he'll be 33 next year. Amari Cooper's not coming back. Chris Godwin's coming back from an injury and he's 29, right? Cooks is a free agent. Khalil Mack is 34 next year. Like, where is this? Hassan Reddick had an absolutely awful year for the Jets. Who is the difference maker you're going to bring into this team and say, oh, you know what? They're going to really improve in this area. And maybe it's addressing it 1,000 different ways, but I don't see it. I'm sorry. This is, saying you're going to go out this year and do it is silly because the difference makers are not there. They're not there.
It's not there. It's not there. And the Eagles still have Barkley, and the Redskins still have their quarterback. They're going to get better on defense. We really took a hit last year of not moving out from McCarthy from last year
Yeah, they
and
had their
repercussions.
chance
Yeah.
to make the additions and they didn't go ahead and take advantage of it. And now, it's another year before there's legitimate free agents. You're a year away from TJ Watt being a free agent, who's 31, will be 32 this time next year. Terry McLaurin, Trey Hendrickson, Joey Bosa, but none of those guys are young. There's not any great young free agents ready to hit the market in a year or two. So again, where are you going with someone who's going to be a game changer? So there's a lot to change between now and then, but like you said, the Eagles are there. The Commanders are there. Where the Giants, who knows what their quarterback situation is or anything, but you have two teams who are just in the NFC Championship right within your division. What are you going to do?
Yep. What are you going to do? What are
All
you
right.
going to do? And it's all on Jerry. This is all on Jerry. And to go up there and speak with it, as the son spoke of a drought, a drought. No, 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 no. That's out of touch. It shows you out of touch. Yeah,
Yeah, he don't know,
yeah, he's
and
out of touch.
my Steven has no idea, and he's been really, really bad for the Cowboys, in my opinion. Steven, it's not Jerry who's had his own problems, don't get me wrong. Jerry's been perfect, but I think Steven has been much worse for the Cowboys than Jerry has.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's put that out there. According to Michael Irving, saying that they would not show, they would show up the day before at 1:30 on Saturday, and there would be no game meetings, no meetings,
Yeah, that's
meetings.
insane that the night before
Think
a game,
about that.
you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to be ready for the game. You're not going to be there. The
Is
Cowboys,
Schottenheimer going to put that in place, that they're going to have meetings, team meetings? Is he going to do that?
yeah,
Michael went off on that.
I'm
Michael went off on
stunned.
that alone that Saturday. He went crazy on saying, "This is what we do. You get ready. You're ready to play." He goes, "There's no curfew either." So,
Yeah, I'm truly stunned that
mm-hmm.
that they would.
They got sloppy. They got
Yeah,
sloppy. Maybe that's why the playoffs. Maybe why they want to play on. I don't
they're not
know.
getting ready for the game the night before. We've said this. Good teams do it, bad teams don't do it. You're not coming ready for the game. Guess what?
We've seen them get up after the dinners and go to the conference rooms, the
Yeah,
defensive
we've
coordinator rooms, and we've seen it right in front of
been
us.
there with
Those
them.
guys, right there, walking past us.
So I guess my question, the Cowboys are starting to fill out their staff, and they have Matt Eberflus, who they've signed now. They're going to sign as their defensive coordinator. Does that make you feel any better about what's going on?
Listen, I've said it before because we do it in amateur way. Us, I used to say to you when we played the pickup basketball the day off, I said, son, make sure I'm coaching from the defensive side of the ball. My mind's a defensive set. They're not sending their defense around that number 11. That's the problem. He should be having 35 sacks, 30 sacks.
Yeah, I mean,
I would tweak a
listen,
34 defense. I would tweak it. When Belichick would have made him into 20 all pros. Even
well,
the son, I would hire the son over Efafle.
well, Eberflus, if there's
He's
one
not
thing
bad.
he's good
He's a
at,
solid
it's
coordinator.
linebackers. He helps
Yeah.
he helped develop Sean Lee into the great player, the best years for Bruce Carter. Eberflus, they wanted him, they liked him in the building. He ended up getting a good D coordinator job. And listen, the best years for Darius Leonard slash Shaq Leonard with the Colts,
Yes.
four-time, defensive player of
That's
the
his strength.
year,
Yeah. Yeah.
four-time All-Pro. That was
You can
under
see his
Matt
yeah, the
Eberflus.
fingerprint on it. Absolutely. Absolutely. You see, there's a resume there, unlike Schottenheimer. Yeah. Ooh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm intrigued to see what this means um, for Micah.
He runs a 4-3 with zones. 4-3
Right.
with zones.
Listen, Micah was dominant under Dan Quinn. He was dominant under Mike Zimmer. I don't think he's going to be any less dominant under Matt Eberflus. Yeah, no doubt, Eberflus is the best lineman, defensive lineman slash edge that Eberflus has had. So
Right.
he's got all the ability.
And
Um, What's up?
Leonard was multi times all pro,
Yes.
who was half the athlete of Levin, half the athlete, and he was all pro, I think 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. He really was. And and his game kind of just fell off
Yeah, he got banged up. His body
without
broke down.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was three-time from 2018 to 2021, three-time first team All Pro, one-time second team All Pro.
There you go.
Excuse me, he wasn't Defensive Player of the Year, he was Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, but
But
he was
that's
up there. I mean, he was phenomenal.
yeah, that's a great resume. Yeah.
And due to injuries, he just really fell off.
Yeah, you look at his body type. It was like he was a scrawny looking dude.
Right, 6'2", 230. He's not huge.
Yo, that's not big at all.
Right, he hasn't played
I'm
since
bigger than him.
2023. He's
I'm
only
bigger than that
29
boy.
years old. The body just didn't hold up.
Yeah.
So, what does Eberflus do? We'll see what the offense looks like going forward. I am, I am very intrigued to see. We've talked before with RJ Ochoa of Blogging the Boys about the Cowboys and their process and how their process stinks and how it's backwards and it doesn't work. It has worked out for them a little bit. Before this year was three straight seasons of 12 wins, but it kind of caught up to them this year. And what does it look like next year? What does the draft look like? What does free agency look like? Because it didn't seem like the process was well done leading to a head coach. It seemed like they're always behind the eight ball. They asked Jerry about that today. He said, "Oh, I didn't know there was a time clock to figure out what was going on for a head coach." I said, "Well, you want to do things in a timely manner. You don't want to be behind everybody else." And they didn't get any chance to interview some of these other candidates. They only interviewed four. It wasn't like they interviewed Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn and Mike Vrabel and Bill Belichick. And
Hmm.
you know what? We're going to go with Schotty. They didn't get to interview any of them. They didn't tell
Nope.
Belichick at all that they were interested in moving on. He ends up going to North Carolina. None of those other guys get on. And then here they go. They go, well, this is the big risk. We're going with Shoddy. Like, well, but you didn't have much of a choice, right?
Well, they were saying, let me just do this. We're going to send this on to somebody we know. But yeah, it sounded like Brian Broaddus put it so well together today, talking about that was their man the whole time because of Dak. Dak is familiar with him. That's the main thing right there of keeping Dak happy. See? Yep. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Let me throw this out. Let me put this to you. They were 7-9, right? We're 7-10. What is it? 7-10?
Yep.
Well, everything wrong. They get a healthy Dak, offensive line straighten out, and a couple other receivers. Is that a three game swing, Paul?
It could be. It's going to
Yep.
depend. It's going to depend on the schedule too, because we always say these things in a vacuum. It it depends on who their teams are that they're facing. Now they'll be facing a third place school, which will be good, but you
They
know,
play the AFC West. They play the AFC West.
so that's four
Yeah.
tough games.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2025 schedule. So,
AFC West, and they play the Jets.
yeah, the AFC West, the NFC North, they play the Cardinals, yeah, and the Jets. And they also play the Panthers as well.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not going to be easy, Packers, Vikings, Lions, Bears, those are tough games. Now you have four division games against the Commanders and Eagles, which are not easy. The Giants will be hopefully perhaps improved. The West is hard. Cardinals and Panthers are not pushovers. I'm not suggesting Dallas stinks, but it's not going to be an easy year.
So they still have a quarterback, and they're going to have to draft a quarterback. Do they do it this year or next year? See, they ran this completely different. They should have scratched McCarthy last year after the playoff, started all over, and look for the second draft and get the Manning boy, because Grandpa already told you where he wants to play. Get him in
Well,
Dallas.
you're going to have to be really bad if you want to get Arch Manning, right? I mean,
Right, right.
you
And
can't be.
you see, we're not concerned about that Dak stinks. We're concerned that Dak gets hurt. We don't think he stinks. Is that he gets hurt every other year.
That's the big issue for Dak is being healthy. And we've seen it change his game. He doesn't run as much as he used to, which was a big part of his game. He started to really incorporate that a little bit more this year, but he used to be someone who could beat you with his legs and could do a lot of stuff, or at least added a different dynamic, and he just hasn't uh, uh, done that. And it's been frustrating to see, but what are you going
Mm-hmm.
to do? We'll see. I would like to see him doing more um, play action. They need to run. You can't be running out of the shotgun all the time. They're a better running team when when the quarterback's under center, and that's the reality of it. They need to get out under center and go from there.
Oh, we'll see. He's saying he's going to call the plays. Our team's already going to look up what they did in the Jets. Are they going to be more physical up front? They're going to take care of that offensive line and get that straight out. Offensive line, they need a receiver, offensive line upgrade, and they don't even have a running back.
Right.
They don't have a running back. They don't have one.
They have to take care of Rico's contract. Do you re-sign him? Osa's contract. Do you re-sign him? I mean, they're going to be. I'm going to be heated if they don't re-sign Osa. Then you have really nothing along that defensive line. Osa was playing tremendous football by the end of the year. You know, Demarcus Lawrence. What does he do? Well, where are you going to find some of these answers? Again, if you're not going to re-sign your guys, you're going to have to pay extra in free agency, and I don't think there's a lot of talent in free agency this year. We're going to have to hit on every single draft pick, and
Right.
that's just not
Right.
unreasonable. If we're going to keep doing the
Well,
same
it's not going to be the
thing,
dirty dozen again. I can tell you that. It's not going to be the dirty dozen. That
yeah,
ain't happening.
and you
That's
just
not
can't
happening.
trust them.
No, they
So,
blew it. They blew it by keeping McCarthy back. Yep. Mm-hmm.
ugh. Is there anything that makes you feel good about what exactly is going on in Dallas, or anything you're looking forward to for next year?
There's nothing. Ask any Cowboy fan. There's nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing. I'm telling you, if everybody's feeling that way, they're going to be empty seats. There have to be empty seats. Hey, listen, I know there's 90,000. If there's 85,000, that means that's not a sellout. And I do not think they're going to have sellouts.
yeah. I'll be honest with
Mm-hmm.
you. I said this online. I'm not watching one Cowboys game live this year. I'm not. I don't trust the process of what's going on. I can't give Jerry the views. Or I'm not going to a football game in person for the Cowboys this year. And even if I would, it certainly wouldn't be in Dallas. I'd rather pay the Giants, organization to go there. There's no reason to believe that Jerry and Steven have the best interest of winning the Cowboys. It seems to be that they have the best interest of making a social experiment or to make money or all these things, and good for them. They're the modern day robber barons. And I wanted to say
I
one more thing.
yeah.
Cowboys fans deserve to win because we've been faithful for a long time. Steven and Jerry do not deserve to win because they have said they've tried to do stuff to win and they have not done stuff,
Right.
the best stuff to win. They don't deserve to win. So Cowboys fans do. Cowboys ownership does not, unfortunately.
Well, I would have taken Pete Carroll as a coach.
Yep.
I would take Pete Carroll as coach. He's got what, 4 Hall of Famers on that team or
Yeah.
5? 5.
Well, we've got Bobby
That's quite a
Wagner,
few.
Russell Wilson, Richard Sherman. I think Earl Thomas should have been one.
He could have been one.
Marshawn is close. That's
Yeah. Yep. Lynch is
that-
gonna. Right? We said Lynch.
yeah, Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. There's 5 of them right there. Yep.
Yeah, and you're not even including Cam Chancellor is probably borderline
Mm-hmm.
himself.
Yep.
So
So there's nothing to look forward to. No, there's nothing. Nothing. I just do that saying about 7 and 10. It makes a difference. No.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just frustrating. And like I say here, send the rapture. What else can you do, right? Send the rapture.
Yeah.
We're looking this week on what exactly a couple weeks these two teams are going to be going to the Super Bowl. One's looking for a three-peat and 4 out of 5, so it is possible to build a contender who can be there every year. Another one is your division rival who's back second time in 3 years. They revamped. They went to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl, have torn it down and rebuilt and gone to the Super Bowl 2 more times in the time that the Cowboys even, again, haven't even touched a conference championship, not to mention the Andy Reid years, which was a whole different generation of competitive Eagles teams. And the Cowboys can't get
Yep.
one. They can't get a top seed. They can't get out. They can't win 2 playoff games. Two. They couldn't get a top seed and win 1 playoff game when they were to
Yeah.
get to a conference championship. So,
Yep.
and you've said it before, it's not like they lost these games like Buffalo lost last night.
That's right.
They were in it to the very end, 1 possession. They got scorched by the Packers last year, and
Yep.
the Rams and the Vikings, and again, and the Giants again and again and again. They're not even in the game. What does Jerry want from us? He wants us to just keep buying tickets
Keep
and
coming.
buying
Remember what
jerseys
I
and all
told
these
you?
things.
He knows everybody's going to keep coming. And guess what? They're not. They're not. You're not going. I'm not going. I'm going to the state fair.
Yeah,
I'm going to the state fair.
yeah.
Hmm.
There's just nothing that we can do to believe that this is going to work out well. Maybe it does. And Brian Schottenheimer, by all accounts, is a great guy. And he said
Yes, he is.
very
Yeah, as
clearly
far as
wants to win
character, yeah,
one,
yeah,
wants to win one for his dad. God bless him,
yeah, yeah,
Marty
yeah.
Schottenheimer.
And everybody loves him. Yeah, everybody
Right,
loves him.
right. He was well liked.
Yeah.
But man, what is there here to prove that this is going to be it, baby? We got it. We're going to make this
Hmm.
happen. I don't see it.
Yeah. Nope.
This is it. Well, that's all I got. I don't really have anything else to say. It's just been an embarrassment, and we're gonna see. I've got people online saying, "Oh, trust the process, trust this team." Oh, you don't know what's gonna happen yet. Schottenheimer's saying good things. Well, why should I trust this team? Why should I trust this ownership group? There's nothing here that makes me um, believe this is going to go well.
As a fan who pays, goes there, spends money, we were lied to.
Oh
Sounds
yeah,
familiar about the media? We were lied to. And that's why you're going to have no shows.
yeah,
That's why I'm on record with Mommy and Twiggy. Uh-huh. On the record.
yeah. I cannot in good faith believe that this is the right
Because
path.
your mother's sitting over here. She wanted to go to the state fair. She started talking about the time. And I started saying, okay, we're not going to go to the game, huh? And I didn't even push the issue. Didn't even push it. I didn't say, I mean, we'll tweak it. We'll go to a Sunday game. And blah, blah, blah. Nope. I'm going to go to the state fair, that big circle, whatever, what's that called? The thing?
Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel. Yeah. Ferris wheel. We're going to go up there, spin it around, have a hot dog. Mm-hmm. Not going to go to the game unless it's a Thursday night game. But anyways, no, I'm kidding. No, no.
You'd
Mm-hmm.
be better off going to Dallas and watching a like preseason Mavericks game, or you're better
Yeah.
off going to Dallas and watching a Stars game. They're competitive. You're better off
Yep.
going to Dallas and watching a Texas Rangers game, but you're not
Yes.
better
Yes.
off going to Dallas and watching a Cowboys game.
No. You're not going. Yeah. No. That's why there's going to be no shows.
Yeah, yeah. It's there's a lot of holes, a lot of things to figure out. You got to re-sign Micah long term. Tyler Smith, Deron Bland. Those contracts are all coming up.
They're all coming, and they're all pros. No running backs. No second or third receivers. Offensive line. That left side has to be tweaked. Something's going
Yep.
on, and that's all on Jerry's account. That's on Jerry's. He did all that. Look at the running backs. Nightmare. I know he had a good year, but he's a free agent. That's my point.
All right, Rico's a free agent. Brandon Cooks is a free agent. Chauncey Golston's a free agent. Oso Digazoo is a free agent. Those are all
Yep.
starters. Those are your starters here. So at what point Do you say, man, they're really DeMarcus Lawrence, even you're going to have him back. He's a free agent, maybe on a much reduced contract. I'm not paying him big money anymore, but he's DeMarcus Lawrence is a great cowboy. We love him, but it might be time to go the way of Tyron Smith. And if you're not going to take a severely reduced contract, it's time to just move on.
It's funny. I didn't see him on the sideline at all. Did you?
No, I didn't see him at all. I could be
I'll
wrong.
have to
Don't take
ask.
me wrong, but
Yeah,
uh,
I didn't see him on the sideline. I didn't see him there, cheering guys on. I didn't see that anyways, but that's doesn't matter now.
and they here's the thing: they don't have a fourth round pick because they traded for Jonathan Mingo. Just it's just diabolical. It's just insane. Would I rather have a fourth round running back or Trey Lance? Would I rather have a fourth round running back or Jonathan Mingo?
Yeah,
I'd
Trey
rather have a
Lance.
fourth round running back, to be honest with you.
Trey Lance. He couldn't even quarterback for the Vikings. Yeah.
He couldn't quarterback
No
for the
offense.
Danbury Vikings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Denver
Top
Vikings.
corner, yeah.
What's his name? Who was Glenn? Glenn Morning. He couldn't outbeat Glenn Morning.
No disrespect to Glenn Morning.
No, no disrespect for him. Yeah, we love him.
Yeah, we love Glenn. But yeah, and here we are. I don't even know if we're back to square one because I don't think these guys know enough to realize they're at square one. I respect at least a team who says, listen, we got to rebuild, tear down, suck, and do what we got to do
Right.
and go on. I respect that the Raiders have been like, we got to bottom out and rebuild and redo. Same thing with the Titans or whoever say it's time to redo build this thing and start. And they suck and they have bad history too. But you know what? Both been to a Super Bowl more recently than the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So AFC Championship games more recent than the Cowboys. What else do we want? It's been 30 years. So it's embarrassing unless things really turn around. They go out and sign T. Higgins, that'll be a big difference maker. They're not signing T. Higgins. I don't know what else, whether they're how aggressive they're going to be in free agency that they're talking about again. And we're going to be left with holding the same bag we were last year, believing we were going to go out and get free agents, and we came home with great value free agents.
Yeah. Yeah.
$18.3 million in
Dallas
free agency
stored.
last year.
Yeah,
11
Dallas
free
stored it.
agents. Oh,
Picking up that wide receiver from Carolina. Oh, like what do
despicable
you
fourth round pick.
oh
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ugh. And what else do we do? What else do we do? But listen, Cowboys fans, people who listen, we'll be here the entire time letting you know what is right and what is wrong. And we will be riding these Cowboys, so to speak, the Cowboys front office, because someone has to. And it's good to see that Cowboys media has started to hold the Jones family accountable, and we're going to be there as best as we can. Certainly, we're not there with the Joneses holding them accountable, but we're here to talk to you about it, so we can all do our part and hold them accountable and say we're not going to games, we're not buying their
hmm
stuff. Too bad.
yep.
We'll just catch up later where we're not going to do it. So
hmm
it is what
Totally
it.
agree.
Well, D, you have any? You're sending this episode out to anybody?
Jill Burke. Did I ever I shout out to Jill Burke? I have
I don't
to
know.
show
You are
her.
now.
Yeah, Joe Burks, who is a faithful, diehard, crazy Cowboy fan. Where's the stuff every time I go there and bring it back to her? She loves it. She's a crazy Cowboy fan. You walk in there and she's happy they win, and she is mad when they lose. Way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't even. I'm trying to think of anyone I can send this to. I'm gonna send it to. I've done this before to my wife Dulce. We're expecting boy number three in the next couple weeks. Well, it's January 27th, so I think there's like
Mm.
6 more weeks till we're there. So we got another one on the way. So Zeus Zion,
Yes.
right now we're calling him Thor, baby. We'll see what happens there, but
Yeah.
we'll see soon enough. Another one. So my wife, who's been holding an absolute tank of a human being, she's like 32 weeks the other week, and he's already over 5 pounds. So all is well.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, If the Lord wants to send the rapture, so we don't see the Eagles win a Super Bowl, I
Oh,
won't
that'd
be
be awesome.
upset.
Wouldn't it be awesome? Like we get to heaven, like we he didn't get it.
We did it.
Well,
Thank God.
you're gonna have little Paulie come up and do my 2 and 3 year old basketball.
Yeah, I have the tennis racket too you've been asking for.
Oh yeah, I need that too. All right,
You
cool.
got it. Oh, all right. All right. Listen, Cowboys and Coffee podcast. We're on YouTube. We'll be on YouTube live soon. We
Yep,
are on Spotify. We're on iTunes. Anywhere you can
yep,
get podcasts, you'll find us. And you'll find us complaining because
absolutely.
all is not well. All is not well.
That's correct.
So that's it. May Brian Schottenheimer surprise us all.
That's
Someone
right.
else said, was there ever a universally panned head coach or manager? I know I'm like I'm like we have 2 minutes left. Was there ever a manager who people were like, oh, he's so bad or he's not good for this? I ended up performing well, and I said, well, Joe Torre was the first one that came to mind.
But not really, Bubba. You forget Joe Torre won with the car with the Mets.
Yeah, but
They
people
just didn't
were
like him in New York. He won with the Mets. He went to the World Series.
no way.
Yes,
I didn't
yes,
know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, I did not
Hmm.
realize. I just remember people saying they didn't
I got
like.
one for you. I got one for you. Who came out of the coach out of the radio television was Pat Riley. He came out of television.
Interesting.
I don't think anybody thought he was going to be an icon in NBA basketball.
Yeah,
Coming from television, radio, he was just a backup. He wasn't no star.
right.
Yeah,
Well, we're gonna find out. All right.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
signing
So,
off. Love
yeah.
you, D. I'll talk to you later. All right.
Okay. All right, we'll catch you, buddy. I love you.